The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Corvallis, Oregon, on your new apparatus, job number 30563. Please utilize this job number when referencing your vehicle with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. Let's get started on a brief orientation of your new fire apparatus. Let's start at the front bumper. Down at the lower section of the front bumper, just under the bumper, you'll find two open-ended tow hooks. Moving up onto the bumper, you'll find an electronic siren on the passenger side. Moving more toward the center, you'll find dual air horns. Moving to the driver's side, you'll find a mechanical siren. Located in the front bumper area, you'll find a latched tubbed storage for hose. Moving up onto the body on the outer edges, you'll find marker turn indicators. Moving just inside of that location to the headlight cluster, you'll find the headlight cluster housing the low beam on the outside, high beam on the inside. Moving up, you'll find your turn indicator and an emergency warning light. Here are some close-ups of those images that we just talked about and the components associated. Once you've accessed the tub storage, you'll find this latch. Once it is opened, inside you'll find a tubbed location, which also houses an 1.5 inch discharge port, swivel. Let's move to the driver's side of the vehicle. Starting on the lower driver's side, just underneath the body, you'll find your drain for your front bumper line. Up onto the front bumper extended, you'll find your emergency warning light. Moving up into the step wells, you'll find two lights for your steps. In the driver's side step area, you'll find your air chuck inlet. Moving up onto the body for the access doors, you'll find locking access latches. At points of entry for personnel, you'll find grab handles. Located in the center, you'll find your 20 amp shore power inlet, auto eject plug. Here are some close-ups of those images that we just talked about. Looking at the mirrors, the very bottom, you'll find a convex portion. The top will be flat. The location of your shore inlet plug, once again, auto eject, 20 amp. Generalized view of the side of your apparatus, midship location. Let's talk about the components in the pump panel, starting at the very top left corner. This is going to be your number 1, number 2, and the 2.5 inch crosslays, clearly identified and marked. In the red section, you'll find your foam system, tank A and tank B foam levels, your master intake, master discharge, test gauge ports for vacuum and pressure. You'll find your driver's main inlet, L-card electric valve. To the right of that, you'll find the passenger main inlet, L-card electric valve. To the right, you'll find your Pierce pressure governor. Moving further to the right, you'll find a pan of switches. This is your panel lights, pump engaged indicator. Just above that, you'll find your Husky 12 foam system instructions and specifications. Moving down, you'll find your job number on the 150, 200, and 250 maintenance schedule. You'll find crosslay number 1, 2, and the 2.5 inch clearly marked in white, red, and yellow. You'll also find the front discharge. All of these valves are foam capable. Also located is the deluge discharge, which is capable of foam and water on a 12:1 wheel ratio. Moving just to the right, you'll find the passenger rear discharge, capable of foam. Moving further right, you'll find the priming instructions, and you'll also find your pump primer. To the left, you'll find your Firecom headset location for plug-in. You'll also find the adjustment for your relief valve. And intake relief pressure, discharges 1 and 2 and 3, which are 2.5-inch discharges, in addition with your offside large diameter. Your engine cooler, which is a twist, not a pull, tank refill, and tank to pump. Let's talk now about the lower section here. Starting in the lower left-hand corner, we're going to see your foam indicator, large diameter intake, driver's main inlet override requiring the tool, your foam system auxiliary inlet functions, the 2.5 discharge at the base and access door, and your driver's side auxiliary inlet, 2.5-inch. In the access door, you'll find your foam position handle for filling or for operation. At the base, you'll find all of your discharge drains. Underneath, you'll find the foam pump discharge drain and the foam pump intake drain. Generalized view of the side of your apparatus compartments. Let's start in the upper left-hand corner. In the left, you'll find your auto charger. When plugged into shore power, this will activate. This is also the location and the main breaker for your apparatus. You can see the circuit directory at the very top, breakers down lower. You also have your generator, AC voltage gauge, a high oil temp with an indicator red light. At the base, you'll find your over apparatus command light. This is the control for that device. And here is the overhead command light at the very top. Back down into that compartment, we'll find in the lower section a pull-out drawer. To access this drawer, on the right-hand side of the latch, push down the black locking mechanism, which will allow the drawer to pull outward. To restore, push the latch and push back inside. Just in front of your rear wheel, you'll find your DEF fill location. It is a blue cap. Moving up to the center, you'll find a long compartment. Moving down once again, you'll find the silver cap, which is your ultra low sulfur diesel fuel. Moving to the rear compartment, you'll find 2 fixed shelves which are adjustable, and at the base, you'll find a pull-out compartment. Same mechanism for accessing this lower access drawer. Underneath exterior, you'll find 2 wheel chocks. These are the folding wheel chock style. Moving overhead, you'll find 2 locations for rigid drafting hoses. Generalized view of the side and rear of the apparatus. Let's move to the upper left-hand corner of the vehicle where you'll find a emergency light and a scene light. We'll start down in the lower left-hand corner. This is going to be your backup, turn, brake, and emergency warning light cluster. Located just above that, you'll find a switch which accesses the rear floodlights. Moving to the right-hand side, you'll find access points for steps. These are fold-down steps all the way from the base, moving up to the top to gain access to the roof of your apparatus. As we move to the center compartment of your apparatus, this roll-up door. Inside, you'll find a roll-out style shelf. Same mechanism for opening. As we move to the right-hand side, just above this location, you'll find a discharge 2.5. To the right of that, you'll find a 24-foot, 14-foot ladder. In addition, at the top, you'll find a folding 10-foot attic and also tool storage for long pike poles. Just above this, you'll find an emergency warning light and also your backup lights or scene light. Located at the top, you'll find your divided hose bed, adjustable. Moving forward to this location, you'll find your fill for water, foam A and foam B, and also your hydraulic reservoir. Onboard generator. Electrical cable. You'll also find your extended deluge. Back down to the compartments, general view. Let's take a look when those compartments are open. Same configuration as most of the other compartments. Let's go ahead and start in the upper left-hand corner after we get just a generalized view here of the side of the apparatus, mid and front cab. As we move back to the very rear compartment in the upper left-hand corner, you'll find your shore power outlet. In between the rear wheel, you'll also find accessible bottle storage locations. There are 6 locations for bottle storage for SCBAs. They also have safety straps. Located in the front compartment, you'll find a shore power outlet, upper left-hand corner, 20 amp. The base of this compartment also houses a pull-out style drawer, same mechanism as the previous ones. Just above this and forward of that location, you'll find your electrical cable reel. Also just beneath that, you'll find your cab lift, reel rewind switch for the electrical cable. Also in this area is an access door to gain access behind the pump panel. Just beneath this, you'll find 2 large diameter ports, intake and discharge. You'll also find the associated drains and also the passenger main inlet override. You'll also find a 2.5-inch auxiliary inlet. Just forward of the inlet, you'll find your flush valve drain and water strainer drain. Those are twist, not pull. Underneath, you'll find your exhaust and drains. Moving back up to the driver's side on the door, you'll find additional information here regarding warning and caution labels. You'll also find your main label from Pierce Manufacturing. On that yellow label, you'll find the VIN number, date of manufacture, job number, references for fluid capacities, types, and amounts. As we move just inside the cab, you'll find at the very base, we mentioned earlier, which was that air chuck. This is going to be the air inlet. It also is an auto eject. Moving just inside the cab, you'll find, once plugged into shore power, your auto charging system for your batteries. As we move inside to the driver or operator seat, you'll find additional hazard and warning labels located on it, and also comfort controls located in the front. Let's move down to the floorboard. You'll find your throttle and brake treadle. In addition, on the left-hand side, the foot pedal for your mechanical siren. Moving up from the mechanical siren location, you'll find a variety of switches and also diagnostic ports, and also your quarter-turn battery switch. This is also location of your DPF regen and engine diagnostics. Generalized view here of the center of your apparatus. Will break down some of the components within this area. Let's first start at the Allison transmission pad and also your system parking brake. Pull to apply, push to release. Just beneath that, you'll find your pump shift. There are 2 indicators for pump engaged and OK to pump, green. Located at the very top, generalized view here. We'll break down the components here within this area first. Let's start with the set of switches. You have an engine brake on off, engine brake settings for low, medium, and high, a mirror heat, and a load manager. From that location, you'll find your generator PTO engaged indicator, and above that, your siren control. You'll also find your climate control. Overhead of the operator, you'll find push on, push off red and white lights, in addition with a set of switches over the operator's head. Let's first start at the far left-hand side and work our way across with the emergency master, roof light, front warning, side warning, rear warning, and also upper rear warning. Moving just to the right of this location, your Opticom, your siren horn selector, electronic air horn, high beam flash, and a siren brake. Overhead in the center, you'll find this puck style light. This is indicating you have a compartment door open and not to move the apparatus. Overhead, you can see your Firecom headset system. Looking to the rear of the apparatus,
You can see your SCBA rear-facing seat on the passenger and driver side. Looking further to the rear section, you'll also find forward-facing SCBA seats. Looking at the rear section of the apparatus, these are the forward-facing seats. They're mounted close together. These are SCBA style seats, and they have Firecom headsets. Located just behind the operator and passenger, you'll find two SCBA style seats. As we move to the front cab passenger side, just underneath the front seat, you'll find an additional access point or storage location. As we move forward of this location to the floor, you'll find siren control foot pedals. One is for the mechanical siren and the other is for your electronic siren, clearly labeled. On the right hand side, you'll find your windshield wiper fill location. As we move up onto the dash, you'll find a portable light that is a US 12-volt access point, barrel style, and just above that, you'll find the air horn push button. Congratulations, Corvallis, Oregon, on your new fire apparatus, job number 30563. If you have any questions as to the content of this or need more additional information, please contact your Hughes Fire sales associate. Congratulations.